Okay, good morning. You're welcome to Bystanders at the newsstands. It's a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Saturday weekend once again. And we are with our people this morning. A big welcome to all that are watching from Nigeria and all over the world. We're saying a big thank you for watching Flip TV. I'm Christian Chuku with this. We are going to move over to the news headlines this morning. We have the Vanguard, the Saturday Vanguard with us, and also we do have the Saturday Tribune. Wow. What does the Tribune have for us? Above the masthead, today being May 1, workers have been turned to beggars by government. That is from the Labour leader. Nigerian workers have been turned to beggars by government from the Labour leader. Atiku bemoans economic decimation of workers. Atiku bemoans economic decimation of workers. Now over to the left part of the paper. Mbaka asked for contracts for supporting Buhari. That is from the presidency. The presidency is saying that Mbaka asked for contracts for supporting Buhari. Below the masthead, the main headline, fear of terrorists among Okada riders heightened. Fear of terrorists among Okada riders heightened. Lagos says government is on top of situation. Oyo bust kidnap hotspots. Mount cameras. Oyo busts kidnap hotspots in the state. Mount cameras. From a suspect that confessed in Ogun State, a kidnapped suspect. He said, I bought my AK-47 for 500,000 naira. I bought my AK-47 for 500,000 naira in Zamfara State. And below that, we have the bandits killed 323, kidnapped 949 in Kaduna in 3 months from the government. Bandits killed 323, kidnapped 949 in Kaduna in 3 months. That's over 1,200. Fulani using NIN to fight population war malafia. Fulani uses NIN to fight population war malafia. Now, let's look at the Vanguard, the main headline. Mbaka is a contractor from presidency. APC threatens to report him. Let's move over to our reviewer this morning. Mr. Femi is with us this morning. Good morning, Mr. Femi.
Good morning. Good morning, viewer. My name is Adewale Femi. Korobisi, you know me.
Okay.
Now, good morning.
Today is May 1.
Yeah.
Workers' Day.
Workers' Day. Okay.
Our workers, are we reaping the dividends of democracy in Nigeria?
Dividend of waiting. I'm not sure because today if you are collecting, okay, they have leave 18,000 to 30,000, 30,000 naira. I mean, some states have not even implemented it. If they give you 30,000 naira now, I don't know what you want to use it to buy. Even if you buy quarter, I don't know. It depends on the size of your family. If you buy rice and there's some other thing, everything don't finish. Not to talk of 12,000 naira a bag of rice. Let's say you have a small family, you buy half or you buy quarter. Before you share every other thing, money don't finish. At the beginning of month, you go back to maybe when they first give you that money, you can cook turkey or chicken. After 1 week, go back to panla. That's what you are celebrating. There's nothing to celebrate about. Either government worker or private. I don't see anything to be celebrating as a Workers' Day in Nigeria.
How did we get here? How did we get to this point?
I don't know how we get it to, how we get here, where we started from. Maybe we start from Oshodio or we start from Yanakpaja. How we even get here? I can't explain. One thing just leads to the other. We started using one government to praise another one. When Obasanjo was here, we were shouting, hey, this Obasanjo, Ike Gari, the 100 naira. I don't know how much they were selling Gari that time. Everything, fuel price started increasing gradually. That one go. Yeah, come there, hey, that one reduce fuel price. But thing was not also rosy. Then Jonathan came in. I'm from Pan to Paya. I can remember some people. They are using their tribes to exchange for bag of rice. That time when we wanted to do election, come and see how people are fighting for bag of rice. Baby factory was flourishing there. I don't know who caused us, so I don't know. We said Jonathan is not good. We were vexed. In 2015, I was one of the people that went, no, Jonathan must go. He's clueless. We chase him away. We go and bring Baba. Since 2015, that is the worst I've ever seen in my life. Baba is the worst president.
From 18,000, they increased to 30,000.
To 30,000, that increment is a cost. It doesn't bring anything. From 18,000 to 30,000 naira. But the price of Gari grow from 300 naira to 1,300. Transport fare grow. NEPA tariff and house rent now, they are competing. They are competing, yes. If you rent a house, 4,000 naira, your NEPA bill will be 3,000 or 3,500. In my own, let me use my own example. My house rent 4,000, my NEPA bill 3,500. What is the difference? 7,500. Remove it from my salary. How much does it remain? So that 30,000 naira they said they had is compared to the rate of inflation, and it's not everybody that they are even paying 30,000. Some they are not paying 30,000. Some are still paying 20. Some are still paying 18. Based on condition we are in Nigeria. Workers' Day is supposed to be a day that workers will go, all the workers, let's gather and cry to God that may God help us, nothing to be celebrated.
Concerning workers. Cry to God.
Yeah, to God, God, come and help us. I'm telling you that workers, let's go to another story.
Another question, we are saying that fear of terrorists among Okada riders heightened in Lagos State.
Fears of terrorists
among Okada riders heightened in Lagos State. You subscribe to that? I
subscribe to it because influx of this Okada rider using Tanlese to pack Alemangeri from Kano and Kaduna and drop at this Opik. He said it here. They use their Okada, come inside here, and they started doing their business. Some of them, they don't even know where they are carrying you. They go, where they go? They go post office. They go carry you where they write post no bill. Many of them, they can. I'm telling you, these terrorists and bandits, one thing is telling me that they don't need Lagos. If they want to strike in Lagos, it's very easy for them.
How?
You say how? You don't see many of their picking here. What does it cost them to carry Okada and drop a topic and come and cause chaos here? Look at everywhere. Okada, yes. Look at everywhere. Okada. Before you see, if you see 50 Okada man, Aboki will be 30. Take it or leave it. Even sometimes I'll try to be selective. Say, this one look like Aboki. Don't let me carry Aboki Okada. By the time you climb down and you go see, say, na Aboki be. Now Aboki, they don't. This Lagos, Aboki Okada don't dominate everywhere. They don't dominate. So
does Lagos have the muscle to contain them?
Lagos has muscle if our governor ready to work. If 2023 will not still make them to face that side with blind eye. And it will be very dangerous. You see that 2023, we are paying for it dearly. When they are killing us, we cannot talk about it because of 2023. They are killing us smart. Adeyemi talk in the House of Senate. Remi Tinubu says he should shut up. He's talking like an opposition. So, with this kind of a thing, if 2023 we still not disallow them to tackle that threat of Okada terrorism, I'm telling you, they are terrorizing us. One of these days, I hear about chaos between Okada man and our boys at Gowan Estate. Okay. It's happening in Mile 2. Every day, you see Fulani, you see Aboki Okada here come and terrorizing people. So, but Lagos State, I know that if they want to work, they will work. How many times does it cost them? All these Okada you are seeing, they will just pack them like 3,000, 4,000 a day. Go and grant it. But 2023, I don't know, maybe you allow them to do that.
Mbaka is a contractor. Presidency has said
Mbaka
is a contractor.
Father Mbaka. Well, Mbaka is also an average Nigerian, like everybody fall for Buhari in 2015. He also fall for Buhari. But to come back.
He heard from God.
He can hear from God. What he heard from God is actually true.
Did God fall for Buhari?
Wait, let me tell you. It's not that God fall for Buhari. What happened to us in Nigeria, it's only God that can describe it. But that Buhari came in 2015 is an act of God also. Nothing come down. Nobody, you cannot receive anything except it is given to you from God. Now, it is God to give you something. It is another thing for you to do. Either you use it properly. It was God that chose Saul now. God chose Saul as a king. But he fuck up. God can choose anybody. Now, it depends on you now. Either you want to use it well or you don't want to use it. So for God to talk to Father Mbaka, God talk to Father Mbaka. It's true in 2015 that Jonathan, you are going. Buhari is going to come
he
in.
said Buhari is the savior. Now that statement, does it look like?
I don't know, maybe he had that one from God. I don't know what really happened. What I know that Father Mbaka said is that he said Jonathan cannot win second time. That's virtually, I don't, maybe he said Buhari is a messiah. Or sometimes when some people hear something from God, you see, don't overrate them. When some people hear something from God, they had their home to hit. Meaning that maybe he thought that since God has said, oh, it's time for Buhari, maybe he thought God said, oh, it's Buhari that's going to deal. They are different, so they are two different. That it's time for Buhari doesn't mean that Buhari is going to be our Messiah. They are two different things. So God may tell him it's time for Buhari. He may not add it. He may not add his own. Add his own that Buhari is our Messiah. Which, well, this kind of Messiah, I don't know where he was.
You believe that he's a contractor of federal government? Because federal government is saying that he's a contract. The reason why he's saying that Buhari should resign is because he's asking for contracts.
Why not? He can be contractor. He can be a contractor. He's a Nigerian. He's entitled to it if he's seeking for. He's a Nigerian. He can have a company. He can solicit for contract from federal government. I don't know about that one, but federal government, that is their duty. To when they see anybody tackle you, they look for something to malign you, just to libel that person, just to rubbish whatever that person is saying. But I'm not sure it will be very good for somebody like Father Mbaka to be soliciting for contracts, because it's a mouthpiece of Nigeria. What he said, you see how many congregations, you see the congregation now. So what he say, people listen to it. For him to go and be soliciting for contract there, meaning that he will not be able to state the truth. So it's not good for Father Mbaka.
My last question, talk about what should be done for workers May 21. What do you think the solution that workers should be done to workers May 21?
From government? Or?
Yeah, from government.
What I would do is, what I would say is that, you see, salary increment, as it cannot solve our problem now. I don't know how much they will want to give them that will be enough to tackle all these things. I think it's not only worker that needs somebody to be done. The whole Nigerians, because the same market that people that are not government worker or not even working, the self-employed people, the same market we go. So what government should do is that they should look into the rate of inflation. There is no amount you collect now that will be enough. A piece of bread, loaf of bread, 200 naira, give it to 10 years old, it will finish it. How much do you want to be collecting that will be enough? It's inflation that federal government is supposed to tackle. And if they want to help workers, not about cash, they can give them, maybe if you have 2 children in higher institution, or you are entitled to 1 children scholarship, or give them food, or anything apart from cash may help.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, Mr. Chikoze, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you, my brother who just left the podium.
Okay, May 1, what are we celebrating today?
Yeah, we are celebrating life, of course. We are privileged to have been among the living. So that's what celebrating. Notwithstanding, for coming down to what is happening in this country is very unfortunate. So, beside that, I don't see anything to celebrate.
Nigerian workers, do they have any reason to celebrate today, May 1? Do they have any reason to celebrate?
Honestly, it's a very big trouble for the Nigerian civil workers. I mean, service, not just the entire Nigerian workforce. What do you have to enjoy while you are under slavery? Over 90% of the Nigerian workers are casual workers. By implication, you have no rights to any entitlements after no matter the number of years you put in the service. Even it's unfortunate. So, and it is a private sector that drives the production process. Because how many civil servants do you have? How many people that are in active civil service? It's not up to 20%. It's not up to 15%. So it's the private sector that drives the economy. And unfortunately, this private sector has been destroyed. You see, why? Because it is not the problem of the technocrats or the captain of industries. Government policies also has adverse effects on them too.
Government policy has.
Yes, considering look at the inflation rates. So no matter what you have at hand does not make any sense. You see, the volume of the amount at your disposal does not mean you are financially secured. You can't procure any reasonable thing with such money. And look at the number of, as day goes by, it appears as if things keep on increasing exponentially without check. I spoke with one of my brothers in diaspora, precisely in Mexico. He said, could you imagine transportation fare for a decade has not been altered? In Mexico, transportation fare for train has not been changed. The money you pay as you board a train to your destination for a good number of 10 years still remains the same. You see, there is relative stability in the economy. And if you are paid, for instance, 10,000 in Mexico, then that will serve you. You can plan out your whatever you want to do, your project for the next 10 years, 5 years. Because you know that inflation will not affect your budget. So you'll be able to plan things accordingly based on your earnings. But you dare not try it in Nigeria. You have 10,000 today in Nigeria. Tomorrow you will lose the value of that money. I mean, tomorrow, not next year. You see, something you purchase for 10,000, go back to market tomorrow. You likely have it at 11.5 or 12. So how do we survive in such states? It's quite unfortunate.
What is the labor leaders doing in arresting this situation?
Yeah, the labor leaders, of course, they are seeking for their selfish interests. Then go and rapport with the government and betray the confidence reposed on them by the Nigerian labor workforce.
How do they do so?
Of course, they do that by bargaining with the government, which there will be do's and behind the scene, and whatever happens becomes a history. So the government, the federal government, knew that once the association, the neighbor union, is weak, they can take or do advantage of the people. You see, unlike, let me say, in Ghana, the government that has the interests of her own people at heart, they put and implement policies that will engender prosperity for her own people. Look at China. China is trying to make as much as they could their own citizens to become millionaires. You see, by creating an enabling environment, they keep on researching on daily basis, coming out with how to improve the lots of their own citizens. But Nigeria keep on killing is the business of the government of this country. Shoot aside, that is the only policy that is striving. The welfare of the workers is immaterial. Is of secondary consideration.
Okay, let's move on to fear.
Of course, most people die waiting for their gratuity. Queuing up for their pension. I saw about 70-something years old woman queuing up with her stick. You see, under the sun, is that not enough to cost Nigerian state? Somebody who have put in over 35 or 30 active service year to the country, standing before the sun. That's why I say this country is a very useless country. How could you subject such either statement? People who should be relaxing and get their decision without any being perturbed. Most of them died, not being happy. You see, as a result of what the government is doing, there is no system. Of course, the MENA and everybody have emptied the pension fund. And even, unfortunately, Buhari, who has been a gross beneficiary of this system. Is now emptying up the pension funds.
Okay, let's move
How
back.
does that?
Let's move to another topic. Fears of terrorists among Okada riders heighten in Lagos State. They say Lagos State is on top of the situation. If there's an attack on Lagos, can Lagos handle terrorism?
If there is any attack coordinated within Lagos, it will be very monumental disaster.
Monumental disaster.
Yes, in the sense that, for instance, there is no bush to run to, maybe to scurry for safety. See, it will be a very big blow to the entire Africa. So that's why the government should be proactive. You can see the infiltration of these unidentified people from the north. You may call them Hausa, but they are not Hausas. You see, coming from all around Sahel regions, dominating the urban settling. And that position, look at anywhere you see a guards, a security guard of those extraction, you see at night there will be up to 200, 100 clustering around the street. On the streets, they will just be lying there. What if something happens? How are you sure that these people are not militias who are just buying time, just waiting for the next command? It will be very devastating, I tell you. And I think the government intended to curb this, but unfortunately, I don't know why they are relaxing. See, implementation is another thing. It's key, not just the policy. I think they banned the use of Okada to some restricted region, but everywhere has been overwhelmed. You can see Okada everywhere, as if nothing is happening.
And it's a threat.
It's a potential threat. It's a very monumental disaster if anything should happen. Because you might be at your sleep and they come around and what next,
Okay, now Mbaka is a
you may not
contractor.
understand.
Mbaka is a contractor. That is the presidency is alleged. Do you subscribe to that?
I think the presidency of whosoever, I think they have lost their voice. And once you come up with any sort of criticism, they will turn against you. That is just what is happening to Mbaka, Reverend Dr. Mbaka, and it's unfortunate. They will want everybody to keep mood while impunity strives, while impunity prevails. I listened to Aisha Yusufu. He said that there is an analyst of doom when there will be an analyst of doom when there is a government of doom. You see, this government is a government of doom. So when you are a government of doom, you can't silence people from criticizing you. You see, criticizing you should have been an advantage for you to understand the position of the people, so that you can go back and have a rethink on your approach and the implementation of your policies that are anti-people. When people criticize you, go back constructively. Tell yourself, what am I really doing? Am I really getting it right? It seems this thing is against the people. Then you can reject your system, your kitchen cabinet, so that you can serve the people. The essence of governance is service. Service to the people first and service to God who gave you such opportunity. And once you don't have this at the center of your decisions, you will continue to behave as the government of Nigerian state.
My last question, what do you advise Nigerian workers if you are in that position? What are you going to tell Nigerian workers?
Yes, Nigerian workers should understand they have no future in Nigeria. I tell you, in the next decade, the situation will aggravate. There is no future, there is no prospect, there is no vision, there is no defined objective, there is nowhere we are going. We are lost in the middle of the sea. And it's only left for God to survey the situation. but our inputs must be fed by the people. If you are not happy, your take home is not even enough to take you home. You see, that's why I have to tender resignation, because I cannot just die. You see, because I have to take the decision may not be convenient for me, but I have to take that decision so that I can think what else to do with my life. So the same thing applies to the Nigerian workers. They should fight the government who has denied them the privileges of service by encouraging casual workers. They should not trust in this whatever union or whatever. I have no confidence in them. So what they should do is to rise against this government, because they are being deprived their source of livelihood. There is no future for their children. For me, Nigeria should come to an extinction, because we are not existing. Are you existing? When you're after the cycle of 30 days, your take home is not enough to take you home, let alone to catch up for your own self, to clothe yourself, to cover your transportation fee, your medical fee. Oh no, what a horrible experience. What a horrible experience. Somebody that is just doing cleaning job in US and in UK is far better than a graduate serving in this country. It's more than 40. What a horrible life we experience in this country. It's very, 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 and they are not trying. They are not doing anything anytime soon, because they have no interest of the masses at heart. What they need is to embezzle and loot as much as they can and hide them in diaspora, where most of those monies are not, the locations are not, could not be traced, even by themselves. You can see how much the level of wickedness. And I may want to appreciate Mr. Mwadiogu, if I got it right. You asked me for a number which I have responded, and Mr. Ope Adoye, thank you very much. You can go back to that and this thing, you can see my response. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
I wish you a very wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Chikesi. Pastor, good morning.
Good morning.
May 1.
Yes, May 1.
What are we supposed to celebrate? What are Nigerian workers supposed to celebrate today?
Life. Celebrate life, thank God.
Celebrate life
and thank God. Celebrate your life and thank God.
Labour is saying that workers have been turned to beggars by government.
Yes, it must be.
So is that something that we celebrate?
Yes, it must be. It must be darkness before light.
It must be darkness before light.
Before light come. So, Nigerian problem is that we are in darkness time. Light is coming.
Over since independence?
Yes, it might take time. It took time to, we've got about 70 years of being struggle. 700 years of being struggle. 700 years of being struggle to come out from darkness before they achieve light. People mention America, but go and read their history. They struggle years to come out from darkness to light. So it took us something to darkness to leave, because darkness is something that can reign in everybody, but light is limit to come. So darkness can reign in everybody, but light is limit to come.
So
we
should celebrate life.
We should celebrate life and thank God for your life. Is your hope for tomorrow. Something is coming. It must be darkness before light. That's what I keep telling everybody. A party is coming, GPN, to flood the nation, to make the nation perfect. Don't you hear the party? GPN is coming. Good people of Nigeria, they are coming here to take over everything with people. People will enjoy. This is a time of hardship, pain, sorrow. You understand me? It must be a way before, when we experience this, before we can have the foundation to bring light. You get my point?
Okay. We have enough natural resources.
We have it.
We have everything at our disposal.
Everything it takes.
Yes, our workers are suffering.
Thank you. We have everything it takes, but it's useless for now.
Why?
Why? Because there's no link of Kinosco knowledge in rulership. There's something called Kinosco knowledge in rulership. The rulership don't have that key to what transform the nation. Get it? They now come in as they come in. They don't have the key of Kinosco. The key knowing knowledge, the knowledge that can transform things. It comes by the Spirit of God. Bible says, getting of God is the beginning of that wisdom. They don't get it. All their advice that they get is useless. They can't advise them because they are in flesh. They are not inspire them in spirit to understand what is wrong in the nation. There's a problem in the spiritual realm. It reflects in the physical realm. That's why we are fighting heat and heat problem. When the spiritual realm is peaceful, the physical realm is peaceful. It's a mystery. The government don't know how to do that. Bible says who want to rule must be a spiritual and mature person. This government not mature in spiritual. They are stealing money. They are committing sin. You must be what a little bit holy to what advise the foundation of leadership. Understand me? To achieve the goal, to understand what is wrong mystery.
So how would you?
So the problem is here because we are not doing the right thing, and the masses are living in sin.
How will you celebrate a worker that collects less than 40,000 naira a month?
He will feel pain.
How would you celebrate?
People collect 10. People even collect 5,000. It is a pain. This is a time to feel that pain.
You can't say you celebrate in such.
Okay, wait.
environment.
Even as I am, I'm a worker. I can't kill myself. God did not tell me that government will help me. He said righteousness will help me. Understand me? God never tell me in a Bible from Genesis to Revelation that government, a king will help me. He said righteousness will help me. So I can only go into work and help me for now.
The same Bible says when the king is on the throne, the people suffer.
He's a bad king. You don't say king in his throne. Say when a bad king is in his throne, people must suffer. You don't fear God to give that king wisdom. Nigeria don't fear God. We are so wayward, no discipline. We are so useless in committing sin. So what do you want the government to what? Who can challenge the president to get the key to start to rule? Bible says kingdom of that God, now go give president the power. He begin to challenge things and things begin flow. We are living in sin, deeper. It's just Nigeria almost became modern nation last 2 years.
What of the United States?
The United States, who die past of coronavirus? They die past of coronavirus. They are paying for their sin. They die past.
They are celebrating their workers.
They celebrate their workers because it is good. The foundation of America was built by Christians, not by Nigerians. The condition was built by Christians. You can't obey them. This nation was built by dark people that marginalized people, evil men. You cannot see anything from there until righteousness comes. You understand me? You can't compare yourself to America. American financial was, they say in God we trust in their currency. Fuka been very well. In God we trust in their currency. That means the gods of their land was what righteous.
And when they wake up, they say, God bless America.
God bless America. Not this kind of country that somebody must stand to say, workers that we don't have hope to go anywhere. Somebody talk that we don't have hope, that workers don't have hope to go anywhere. We have hope. Something is coming. It must be darkness before light. It must only be darkness before light come.
How soon is the light coming?
Come is coming. GPN is coming. We are mobilized what we call a standard path that we're going to take into the nation and flush all the dark and bring light in. The name of the party is GPN. If you see 12 support it. Good people, Nigerian good people. We want to bring that good to Israel in our mouth so that we can start to good. We are bad. The goodness should start raining in our mouth so that we can start the good. When goodness rain in speech, God bless America, God bless America. That speech is raining. It's raining. It's bringing voice, bringing something in.
And good angels
go around in those voice. God bless America, God bless America. But when good come, this good angel will come and flow in mouth of people. Bible says the tongue built, the tongue destroyed. We don't see anything to celebrate for now. It may be, but we must celebrate something tomorrow. We are hoping for it.
And that is what?
That is what? The best government that we ever have is coming in to channel everything. They are in spirit, they are channel, they understand what is going on. And we can work, don't doubt about it. Now, if you see that the nation is bad now, and everybody has got commanded the bad, we hear what the bad is doing us. Then when good come, we go remember the bad. Yes. So you can't just be good. It must be bad before good restore. Now you go hear what when we were doing bad. This we were suffering. Now we just stop bad. So we must experience all things that it is bad, that bad can bring. Before we focus on to good. Good is coming.
Okay. Mbaka is a contractor from presidency.
Mbaka is peace. I don't see him as a man that have the direction from the God to speak to Nigeria.
You don't see him as a man that
have direction from of God to speak for Nigeria. Or if you could have seen a light that is coming. Mbaka could have seen a light that is coming. Mbaka will be a man that wake up and tell you, this one could be president, this one could be president, like him be God. You understand me? You understand me? Like him be president, like him be God. And sometimes he fall, sometimes he fail. Sometimes he fail, sometimes he fail. for his peace. You know, speak out of flesh. You know, speak out of the spirit realm. You don't speak out of flesh as a man of God.
So what you are saying is speaking out of flesh.
You speak out of flesh. All the talk you speak out of flesh. You just suggest something, you just speak it. You suggest something, you just speak it.
But
If it's a
but there are miracles in his church.
Miracle in the church don't exist. They are here wearing face mask today. They don't exist. Holy Spirit reign in the church. Now, face mask reign for the church. Don't you know? Holy Spirit reign for church. Control church. Now, face mask control church. It's a stupidity. They are failure. All the pastors are fake.
All the pastors.
They are fake. If they are not fake, you cannot stand here and be Nigerian cannot stand here and be crying. They are fake. Their duty is to what? Deliver. They are shepherds. They are all fake. How many people Mbaka fake for the state they come from? How many people Mbaka fake feed? How many grain Mbaka buy to feed these people from where he come from? Mbaka in his government, inside the church is corrupt. Because money that they give to him, he chop alone. He wear big cloth alone. The people where the masses, Bible says even who want to rule should be the one that deliver his service to what? He become a servant to us, to masses. Did the masses wear the big cloth that he wear? Did his church member wear the big cloth he wear? Jesus take water, wash his feet of his disciple. Isn't he? He said do the same to one another. Did he do the same to his members? What about all the money that he chop for the church? Big money that they donate to him. He's also corrupt as a government corrupt.
Are you saying he's not a man of God?
Oh yeah, he's a man of God. You go see in light. In light go shine for even we go move down there. Because we go hear the rumor. What are you talking about, Mbaka? What is it? What can he do for Nigeria? Like a fake pastor. We know you as a fake pastor. If you're a pastor, you go deliver what they call charity.
For the fact you prophesy it doesn't come to pass, doesn't mean you're a fake pastor.
You don't even prophesy. You do your own. Pastor no prophesy. You just do your own. You do your own. People see your light in you. That is that light. People say they call with. People say, Father, thank you for the light of this man. Say your light may shine before men. What? Men go say, Father, we love you for what you give to this man. What are we saying to say we love God of Mbaka? We see. What do you see?
So you are saying he's a contractor?
We see Kokoro, he's a contractor. You have no. What we see is Kokoro.
Now, fear of terrorists among Okada riders in Lagos.
Yes, it's going to come in. There's so much of anger now. Anger is that. Anger is hitting the nation badly. And we have food. If you enter all our shop, there's food. But we don't know what just happened that things are so hard. No house to live. House is so expensive. Things are so strong for Nigerian. You make money, you cannot even see. You carry Ghana must go enter market with money. But you come out with put it back. It's too terrible. Get my point? The worst is that you carry Ghana must go money, enter market, you come back with put it back. You understand me? Million can buy something. He buy a sachet. Million from Naira. Buy sachet, only sachets. So in this, the population of Lagos is too many. So in maintaining of this aspect, it must be something like that. If somebody experiences it, they must be very, very, they with a vital understanding to go into that. Because it go bubble. Last week, we all stand like this for bus stop. Somebody stand like this and just make a call. As you just stand like this and check the call, Okada just come, piam the phone for hand. Running after Okada has gone. He take off. So it's coming in. Because why? The serious anchor commotion in the nation.
Last question, can Lagos handle it?
Yes, they can handle it. They want to handle it. If they want to handle it, they can take the channels that, okay, now this is a system that they can bring. Lagos always have some structure of system if they want to handle things. So I don't think it's going to be difficult to them. You know, nobody them ban Okada before. You know, because government is not rotating. If government rotating and they do things in uniform, what about another government do? Another person will do what? Will join it. But this one is when, I remember when Fasha that day, Okada no make mouth. I was, who they now? Showolu, Okada proud. So if government is consistent, understand me? In that, when you leave power, I come and follow your state, just like America do. So we could have not been in this kind of a nation. So now Okada is following everywhere, back to the power and running race and do all manners of rubbish. But someone was they who banned it and we have peace. Understand me? So if they want to do, let them check the rate of the nation.
Thank you very much, Pastor. All right, that was wonderful. Sir, good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Today is Workers' Day.
Well, happy new month. You know, it's another time, a deep reflection to look at Nigerian workers. Nigerian workers in a sober reflection. The minimum wage no longer take people home. There are a lot of hardship in the land. So there is no hope for the common man, for the Nigerian worker. It's there's no hope for now. There's no hope because this government have actually bastardized the hope of the the workers of Nigeria. How can a civil servant of the minimum collect 35,000 that cannot even take one home? And the so-called our politicians are collecting millions. You can see the level of equilibrium is not balanced. You understand? The so-called state governors are saying that where are they going to get the resources? Where are they going to get the AIGR? It's quite embarrassing for workers. And I remember those days where you see workers will be happy. They will go and march. There will be hope. They will tell them. But go to each company now. You see they are into contracts. Most of the staffs are contract staffs. They don't have benefit, no insurance policy, no pension. When they leave the job, no pension. Of recent, we heard that the government of Nigeria wants to even borrow the money of the pension, and they actually came out and they said that's not what they want to do. It's quite we are in a serious dilemma, and if this is not addressed properly, the economy is going to go deep. We are going to be in dilemma, a serious dilemma, that we need someone that has a focus, someone that knows where the problem of Nigeria is, how they can solve the problem of Nigeria. Without that, the country will still remain in dilemma. That's my take about that, because I'm not happy. I'm a worker myself. You understand? As of today, salary no longer take me home. The cost of transportation is high. The cost of accommodation is high. Food stuff is high. Talk about anything. Everything is high. And the government still remains stagnant. Look at petroleum, for God's sake. From 87, we are now buying petrol for 163 or 65. And the government are not doing anything. It's quite unfortunate that I find myself in this kind of situation, because the Nigeria we dream about, this administration is not giving us hope. There's no blink of hope. All what we hear on the newspaper is corruption, kidnapping, and all this thing. And what caused all this thing? Because we have a leader that is not tackling the issue. That's my take about that. Let's go to today's paper, sir.
Okay, today's paper now. Fear of terrorists among Okada riders heightened.
Well, first and foremost, Lagos is a commercial city. Lagos is a commercial city. The first thing we first of all look at, what is the reason why there is an increase in Okada in Lagos? Is it buttressed on the bad policy of this government?
Federal or state?
Federal. Most companies that have companies in Lagos State can no longer meet their overhead costs. As a result, they have to downsize their staff and see how they can move the operation forward. And when they downsize, most of the effect we see are some people just let me go into transportation. You see most of them getting bike, and that's what they are doing for a living. The government does not even bother, does not even care about the welfare of the people that lives in Lagos. So we are going to see more of increase in Okada people. And the terrorists they are saying is that the Lagos state government should come out and tell us the plan. Because one of the things is that one of the pastors that just left, he said something that continuity. This government, to stop Okada, it is those people that drive Okada, the Agberos, that they use during politics, during election. So it will be very difficult to stop Okada in Lagos. Election is coming. They may threaten them, but when it comes to election, they will release them. So the terror in Okada is that if the government stops those people driving Okada, what is the government putting down in place to cushion the effects of the people?
Okay, subscribe to this. Mbaka is a contractor by federal government.
Like yesterday, I said it on this platform that the pastor should face the pastor work, the politician should face the politician work. You understand? You see what I'm telling you? A lot of things are gradually coming out.
But somebody told you that in the Bible, David or Saul, the kings, they played political roles also.
The political role they played was they were saying how it is. They were not going back to collect something from the government. If you listen to the spokesman of Buhari, Garba Shehu, he spoke it, he said it open-heartedly. What I expected Pastor Mbaka to do is to respond. If he has not gone there to demand for something, Shehu Garba will not have that full to criticize him. We have pastors, we have Bishop Kuka. They've never for once accused him of saying he's a contractor. What they are always telling him is that he should not divide the unity of Nigeria. That's why I'm telling you, Father Mbaka, if he wants to get into politics, he should leave pastoral work and come and join politics. Politics are meant for people that have clean mind and also have dirty mind. That's why there's no permanent friend, there's no permanent enemy in politics. So Reverend Mbaka should watch his back, because the people he's dealing with, they're going to deal with him. That's my take about that, sir.
Your advice to Nigerian workers. Can Nigerian workers have a Nigeria they are dreaming of?
Well, there are two sides to a coin. If you want to be a Nigerian worker, you will not achieve anything. That's one. You have to determine to be an employer of labor before you can achieve something. You have to do what? Determine to be an employer of labor, because the government policy is not helping industry in Nigeria. That's why if you put 20 Nigerians down now and say travel to Canada and stay in Nigeria, all the old 20 will say I'm traveling out. So that's my take for my fellow brethren that are agitating to leave. Well, it's a choice. If you feel you can stay with Nigeria, it's a choice. But one of the things I know is that every country have their challenges. How they solve their challenges depends on how the leader table it in front of those people that govern them. That's my take about that, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Very much. Mr. Okonkondem. Okonkondem 1.
That's me.
Good morning, sir.
No. I'm not sick of Africa. I'm not that bastard.
Who?
Zeke.
The bastard.
He's a bastard. Who is his father?
Huh?
Who is his father?
It's your father now.
He's not my father.
Zeke of
Let's focus.
Not sick of Biafra.
Let's
He's sick of
focus.
Africa. Not
Let's
sick of
focus.
Biafra.
Let's focus.
He's a political harlot.
Let's focus. Mr.
He's a political deceiver.
Let's focus.
He's a political seller. Zeke put us in this problem. Had he been Zeke did not collect independence 1960, Nigeria could have been like this. Has he been Zeke allowed British to continue up to 1970? That you know that the first 16 independence. I mean, 16 independence. I'm very sorry. 16 independence. If Zeke did not collect independence and push, okay, he's still independent. Okay, you are right, Obong. Whether stealing, whether collecting, whether negotiation, Zeke put Nigeria into a problem by that 1960 independence. He's a selfish man.
You are talking to an elder statesman?
I say he's a left selfish man.
An elder statesman?
He's a stupid statesman.
He's an elder statesman.
He's a stupid elder statesman, Zeke. I am saying it. He came from Anambra, I came from Imo.
He's your brother.
He's not my brother. He's a brother of Fulani. He sold Igbo man to Fulani.
So you not believe what I've been saying on the platform?
He sold.
Okay, that's it.
He deceived us.
Okay.
He's a bastard. Yes. Let his family come and challenge me.
Calm down. Good morning.
Zeke destroy Nigeria. Had he been allowed British to stay up to 1970, all the whole civil war, all the whole anarchy could have not taken place, because British will never be here. The politicians misbehave, that lead the 5 majors to carry out the revolution.
Okay.
Yes, understand.
Okay,
nonsense.
Introduce yourself.
Bastards.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah. I am Mr. Akbara, the new Okokondem in this Second Republic of Biafra, led by Mazin Nnamdi Kanu and his IPOB government of Biafra. Long live Republic of Biafra. Long live Republic of Biafra. Long live Republic of Biafra. Biafra win the war. Biafra win the war. By the mighty hand of great Father Yahweh. Biafra win the war.
Okay, today is a Workers' Day. Nigerian workers are celebrating. Is there anything that we should think of celebrating today that's Workers' Day?
Where is that worker? Who are the workers?
You are a worker.
Who are the workers?
You are a worker.
Nigeria hungry people, Nigeria hungers are celebrating hungry.
Nigerian
Hungers are celebrating hungry. We are hungry people. We are not celebrating Workers' Day. We are celebrating Hunger Day. That's what they are celebrating.
How do you mean?
Now, we are workers, but we cannot put only a cup of garri on our table for our family. What are we working for? Eh? We are workers. One sachet of pure water now is 20 naira. A bag of sachet of pure water now is 200 naira. But during the time of Jonathan, how much? How much? Pure water was 5 naira. One set of pure water was 5 naira, now 20 naira. Now, a worker that is having 5 children, plus himself and the wife, then under 30,000, and is buying a sachet of pure water 5 pieces or 7 pieces, 3 times in a day. Calculate it in 30 days, how much it is, how much remain on that salary. And he pay house rent. A bag of rice 28,000, and the worker is under 30,000. How much will he remain for a month? And he pay house rent. A house rent now, every landlord now is a millionaire in Nigeria, because that's their only source of income. And they go to increasing house rent. Now go and rent a room, not a room apartment, ordinary room, one room, 10 feet by 10 feet is 8,000. Then agreement fee, agent fee, mosquito fee, cockroach fee, bed-bug fee, everything fee. Under that salary, what remains again? NEPA will carry, you have light in 24 hours that make a day. You have light only 5 seconds. And at the end, NEPA will bring 5,000 naira in a month for you. You pay it, how much you remain? And you call yourself a worker. Workers' Day. Those people that call themselves labor union leaders, they are thieves. They are rogue. The government we are criticizing. I'm not criticizing the government. I'm trying to tell them to do good. I'm correcting them to do good. I'm not criticizing them, but I'm correcting them to do good. The government we are trying to correct is far better than labor.
How do you mean so?
Is Oshomole not a labor minister? Before he became a governor, what did he do to Nigerians? As he leave labor, they are only here to grab their money. During the 2019 election, Labour said if you don't increase our salary to 30,000, we no election. When government to call them by the corner, so-called Labour, and give them Ghana must go. But now it's no more Ghana must go. Now it's Biafra must go. I said, change that name of that bag. It's no more Ghana must go in Nigeria. It's now Biafra must go, and Biafra must go. When they get that, Biafra must go and give them. All of them come and shut up. Let the election continue. After election, we know how to do. We have to talk. After election, they increase the salary. After election, how many now? Now 2023 is approaching now. They come up again. Labor will not agree. We are labor leaders to collect another money. Fooling the masses. Fooling the hungry people. So forget about that labor. We don't have any. Where is that industry that makes us to be a worker? Where is that industry Nigerians are working that made them to have workers? Or is it only people in the ministry are the workers? Only the people in the ministry are the workers. What of industries that go to grassroots and employ the people in the grassroots? Like if you're not a red man or have a connection in military, you cannot work there. But the individual private sector, if you are learned or not, as far as they see you, you are skillful. Even you can be loading and offloading without presenting certificates. They will take you. But where are those things now? Where are the Tesla mills? Where is Dunlop Tube, Nigeria? Where is Mbaka? Count them. count them. All the whole sales company like USC, UTC, ICANN, all of them have folded up. GYB selling bearings, all of them have folded up. Where is that the company that employ people that we don't have worker? We don't have worker. What we have is beggars. We don't have worker. Am I not part of the workers? Am I not part of the workers? As you see me, do I live fine?
What's your experience?
What I'm experienced? I say I enter compulsory fasting whether I like it or not. I enter compulsory fasting. Whether people may not see me these days. I'm rushing, struggling to see something. Because a hungry man cannot come here every day talking. One day we collapse. They start doing me deliverance. Epilepsy deliverance. I'm not suffering epilepsy. What I'm suffering is hunger. If you want to know the people that are really in hell, come to Nigeria. You will see common Nigerians that are in hell.
There's some people are still enjoying Nigeria.
The people that are still that have Godfather. The people that have Godfather. The people that are enjoying, the people have already made it. The money to squeeze what they made already during the Jonathan regime downwards. But from this APC, Buhari, Mianti Allah, Janjaweed government of Nigeria, we are nowhere. We are in hell. You know what is called hell? Hell is not ordinary hell of grave. Hell of hellfire. When we hear that it remains small now, we become like Sodom and Gomorrah. Where fire will falling from heaven, consuming the people. But what the government have money is to buy gun, empowering Fulani herdsmen, buying gun, going to village, shooting people, killing people, collecting their land, pushing them away from their ancestral home. But when you put their own security, like SN, it's a land work. Army will come after you. Navy will come after you. They will hire machineries to finish you up. Look at now. China is trying to take over south to east. They have called them and contract them. Go, kill them. We are fighting the terrorists. But the people that are going village to village, farm to farm, killing people, federal government did not do anything for them, against them. Now it's the people that hold gun to push away the vandals, to push away the intruders. Now government will come and start killing them. Look at the man that in his house. They say he's a IPOB member. Unso, Mr. Unso. In his house, so they went there and kill him. Say he's IPOB member.
But the government is saying a different thing. That's
what the different like this? Shoot out waiting.
Them and the man.
When they show the picture of the man, do you see any place that has a bullet wound? Bulletproof, bullet points that enter into his body. They're shooting now. They went to inside the house, overpowered him with his friends that they are eating inside his own house, not on the road, not on the bush, not with the gun in his hand. He was eating. 3 years of Nigerian troops, uncountable went and surrendered the whole building and rushed him. They get him. They start beating him. They take rod, not a gun, not a cutlass. They take rod, pieces in bone.
So what is the hope of the Nigerian worker now? What's the hope?
The hope of Nigerian worker, it go better. That's the hope of Nigerian worker. It go better. And that it go better be say every day for God's hand. Nigerian worker don't have hope. I'm a Nigerian worker. What do I work? No hope of tomorrow. Look, my father, my own father that born me is under 80 naira in a month. Not 800 naira, not 8,000, not 80,000. 80 naira, 20 naira, 100 naira minus 20 naira, 80 naira. In that 70s, my father was under 80 naira in a month. And he built 4-bedroom bungalow. Plastered, sealed. We pack in those days, he did not paint it. In the village, only 18 naira. But now, a person will collect 100,000. He cannot go home with it. 5,000 naira now. If I want to prepare a soup to eat, a soup, but not a delicious soup, management soup, 5,000 naira down. I have taken paper and barrel, calculate it. Paper and barrel calculate 5,000 naira down. But that time my father was 18 naira. Had it been my father collected 5,000 naira as a month salary at that time, my father could have been a millionaire. But now you will see somebody collect 60,000, collect 70,000, but he cannot do anything. Is it there the hope of God? And that 60,000 is not reaching there.
So what should Nigerian workers do?
What did they want to do? They should only pray to God.
Okay.
Mbaka.
He's a contractor.
Mbaka is a contractor. I said it last time. Mbaka is a contractor. Not only Mbaka.
Do you have evidence?
Yes, I have evidence. If they don't have it, they have evidence. God don't speak with double mouth. Mbaka will go in the night. You speak with federal government. In the day, he carry mic speaking. Yeah. Adoration, yeah. Adoration, yeah. Mbaka is a contractor. When they reach agreement with federal government, he will prophesy on their behalf. When federal government when federal government did not accomplish the contract, he will turn against them. But let me tell you, Mbaka is not the only contractor pastor we have. We have so many contractor pastors in Nigeria that went to Asura, collect. Biafra must go and speak whatever.
Ghana must go.
No, it's Biafra must go. We must go.
Ghana.
It's Biafra must go. We must go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I am Mr. Okokondem. Omo Biafra. Ona hakwa n'ona. Onye ndịrị gbagburu eche ndị nche mgbe niile. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ana hakwa n'ona. Ndịrị gbagi gburugburu. Ndị amen. Biafra win the war. Biafra win the war. May God bless Biafra land in Jesus' name. Say amen. Amen.
So, man, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Christian.
Mr. Okokondem is a personality.
Of course.
He's a personality. Let's look at the Nigerian workers because people have said, do you have any different thing from what they just said? What they are supposed to celebrate?
What is there to celebrate as Nigerian workers? I don't think there's anything there for them to celebrate. Except for the purpose of being alive. They give glory to God for keeping them alive. But looking at under Nigerian scenario, looking at what an average Nigerian worker take home, I don't think there's anything to celebrate. Because currently, what is the minimum wage in Nigeria? It's still 18,000. That notwithstanding, it depends on one's level. But the minimum is what I'm looking at. In the same country where you have senators, House of Assembly members, rep members, go home with millions of naira. They go to the same markets, their children attend the same school, and you say they should be celebrating. I don't see anything worth celebrating. I think it should have been a time of sober reflection for workers anyway, to use the opportunity to prevail on government to improve on their welfare, on their take-home package. Because what they take home is nothing to write home about. Looking at the prevailing economic situation, looking at the rate of inflation, I think there's every need for the authorities to revisit that minimum wage and improve on it.
If the workers are going through this problem, what are the labor unions doing? For the past 4 to 5 years, we have seen that they have not really done anything that is tangible for the Nigerian workers.
If you ask me, I think I will feel labor leaders have been compromised. I do not have the facts, but I have a feeling that they have compromised. The reason is not far-fetched. I've seen in the recent past where labor's integrity have called to question and they didn't live up to responsibility. Take a look at it recently when Labour had the opportunity to engage federal government in respect to electric tariff hike and PMS increase. At a point where Labour was supposed to be resolute and maintain a stand, they chicken out. Because in any negotiation, you must have your demand. At that level of negotiation, the demand was that the status quo should remain, and that before federal government should think on increasing the electric tariff, that they should meter every household. Federal government was talking about cost reflecting tariff. But at the time Labour succumbed, none of their demand was met. So it looked as if they compromised. Because if your demands were not met and you accepted the position of the government, what message are you sending to your followers? What message are you sending to the citizens? Personally, I've lost confidence in Labour. It was under the leadership of Oshomole that the Labour had teeth to bite. And I feel since Oshomole became a political gladiator, they might have used an Oshomole to infiltrate into the ranks of Labour to weaken it. I'm just insinuating. Because the Labour I have today is as good as toothless bulldog. I've never seen in any area, any engagement where Labour have come home with a good bargain. It has always been they will threaten. The federal government through the Ministry of Labour and Chris Ngige, we invite them for a discussion. Before you know it, their demands are not met. They will accept the demand of the federal government, the position of the federal government. So what does that imply? It implies that they have compromised. So for me, I think Labour members should think of electing new leaders, because the crop of leaders that they have, for me, I think they have failed grossly.
Okay, I want to ask you this question, especially for you. Fulani using NIN to fight population war, Malafia. Former governor, deputy governor, Central Bank. So Fulani is using NIN to fight population war. How true or how possible is this?
For me, I do not totally speak on what I'm not privy to. But again, I think Nigerian database is under threat. Looking at the man who is piloting the affair, I'm talking about Issa Pantami, who have agreed to have made some statements that have proven him to be a sympathizer of terrorists like Al-Qaeda and Taliban. So I don't know the evidence that the man has, but what I do understand is that if the federal government continue to allow an Issa Pantami to drive the process of Nigeria database, Nigeria is doomed. So any allegation, any speculation will fly. If somebody insinuates that through the same man that federal government or the government of Fulani is using it to fight a population war, I will not totally disagree with the person, because federal government itself that needed to do the needful by showing the man out of the way of that office is behaving as if his hands are tied. I don't see what makes an Issa Pantami a special and superhuman being, that if he lives there today, that nobody can handle that responsibility. I've read what Sheikh Gumi was saying the other day, that if Nigeria relieve him of that position, that Nigeria will regret it. I'm going to ask, what would Nigeria regret? Does it imply that no other person can handle that position? What special thing is he doing that makes him a superhuman being, that makes him a special person? For me, I do not even have confidence in the database any longer. I don't have confidence in the NIN any longer, since the activity of Issa Pantami have come to the fore. Until they show the man the way out of that office, I no longer have confidence in any process he's leading. For crying out loud, Al-Qaeda is a world-known terrorist organization that was being led by Osama bin Laden before his demise, before he was killed by American security forces. Taliban is a global known terrorist organization. And this man who was quoted to have prayed in the past, perhaps when he was in his 30s, asking God to give Taliban and Al-Qaeda victory. What evidence do you need more than that? This is a man who have acknowledged and accepted that he makes those statements, only for him to say that his mentality may have changed. This year we are seeing a whole spokesperson of Mr. President, I mean the president of Garba Shehu, coming to mislead the whole public. telling the public that this man, if that what he said in the past is condemnable, that currently is equally condemnable, that if that man were to repeat it now, that it would have been a different ballgame. Will an Isa Pantami be saying what he's saying today if he were not the minister of digital economy and communication? I don't think so. I see a man who is trying to protect his job. I see a man who is overwhelmed with the aura of that office, who doesn't want to lose that aura. That's why I see him. Ordinarily, I feel and believe that that man still have that ideology. Before now, was there any time that man renounced those statements? I don't think so. And don't forget that before the man accepted, after there was overwhelming evidence, initially the man was not accepting that those statements credited to him were true. But when people started bringing out overwhelming evidence, he owned up. So to that extent, I believe that that man belongs to the de-radicalization center rather than being in the Federal Executive Council of Nigerian government.
Okay, now over to terrorists in Lagos in the form of Okada riders. Do you see it as a possibility?
It's a potential threat. That one, without thinking twice, is a potential threat. And we should pray to God that terrorist organizations do not look towards that angle. Because it's a matter of the choice of their operation. Because the way you see Okada every nook and cranny of Lagos State, I'm a proponent of allowing people to operate and earn their living. But that notwithstanding, with the trend of terrorism, there's every need to moderate and make sure you know who is flying any routes. You should know the identity of every Okada. Because the way it is, if I pray it does not come to that level anyway, if all the terrorist organizations look towards leveraging on that Okada sector, they're going to spare doom for Lagos. I pray they should not, God will not, I pray God will blindfold them, that they will not think in that direction. Because the way it is, we do not have what it takes to filter and isolate who is a terrorist and who is not a terrorist. So to that extent, if a potential terrorist comes into Lagos pretending to be an Okada rider, he will easily have his way into the regular society. So that's why I'm praying fervently to the Almighty God to blindfold the terrorists that they will not think towards that direction. Because if they think that towards that direction, Lagos is going to be in jeopardy. So, and the government on its own, they should be proactive. This our rationary approach to governance, to issues, is not the best way. The best way to go is to be proactive. You look at a potential threat, you put measures in place to mitigate it, to check it in case of a likely occurrence. This issue, I've said it, that is a potential threat. What the government needed to do is to deploy system in place to check and know who is plying every route. The number, by now, they ought to have database. If you ask the government, what is the number of Okadas in Lagos operating in Lagos, I think there should be a database that will tell you this is the number. In Ikeja, there should be a database that tell you this is the number. In Ikorodu, there should be a database that tell you this is the number. And I don't know why Nigeria is not improving. Personally, I'm a statistician by training. You see, in developed world, they make use of vital statistics. Vital statistics is simple. You register birth, you register death. I'm not even talking about Okada. I'm talking generally, and it's working in other climb. At every point in time, you do not even need to even conduct census. You just go to your database. You look at your birth rate. Look at your death rate. You do the plus and minus. You know people who are living in a particular geopolitical zone, in a particular city, and just like that. But in Nigeria, they wait until after 10 years, they start rolling out resources, personnel to conduct census. At the end of the day, they come out with figures that are inflated because Nigerians, by nature, especially those in government, are dubious. Hence, they realize that the figure that is gotten from census is through that figure that resources is being shared. So what politicians do is they go to National Bureau of Statistics. they go to the agency that is responsible for the census. They influence their officers and make sure that their local government, their ward, their state, as the case may be, that the figure is inflated. At the end of the day, you have a bloated population. And if you want to use it for planning, in terms of economic planning, you will not see a result because you are using a faulty database.
Okay, my last question. All these things happening to Father Mbaka, does it make him less of a man of God?
Thank you very much. From what I can understand, I've read what the presidential spokesperson said, that in one of the meetings Mbaka had with Mr. President, that he came with 2 contractors and that he was demanding for contracts, and that by going by the president's kind of person, that he didn't oblige to it. Rather, he wanted to go through due process. But the question I'm asking is, why did the presidency wait until now to alert the public? I'm not ready to listen to federal government. I look at the merit in Mbaka's utterances, where he advised Mr. President to resign or be impeached. I think he was speaking within his right as a citizen. He has not violated any aspect, any section of the Constitution by speaking out. He is not the first person to have spoken. Recall that recently, even an APC senator, I'm talking about that senator from Kogi State, Smart Adeyemi, was speaking passionately about the level of insecurity in Nigeria, to the extent that even some APC senators were even questioning him. Are you now a PDP senator? You see the level they play politics even with the life of citizens. What am I trying to say? I do not question Mbaka's rights, freedom of speech, by advising Mr. President to resign or be impeached. But again, I think it's more honorable as a child of God, as a servant of God, especially if God have anointed you to serve on his altar. I think it's more honorable to stay in that line of duty. Because if I look at the life of the apostles after the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, how they streamlined and stayed in that line of duty of propagating the gospel, or preaching about salvation, or preaching about the second coming of Jesus Christ, I think it's more honorable for Mbaka to stay in that line of duty rather than talking about whether president should resign or not. Because ordinarily, there are other Nigerians who can say that if I get to the level of an oracle of God, I do not have intention of meddling in politics. Even if I'm being pushed by my human instinct, I will resist it. That's why I see it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mbaka.
Thank you.
That's a very wonderful one. We are moving towards the end of bystanders on the newsstands. At the newsstands this wonderful morning. There's a wonderful thing in Lagos. Let's look at the last part of the Tribune newspaper. Fulani using NIN to fight population war, Malafia. Former central bank, deputy central bank governor. He said Fulani is using NIN to fight population. I bought my AK-47 for 500,000 naira in Zamfara. Kidnapped suspect confesses in Ogun. Herdsmen crisis. Autumn fires back at Buhari. Suspected kidnappers arrested in Kwara. And Ekiti is saying banditry. Ekiti Obas engage traditional work chiefs. You can look that up on the newspaper this wonderful morning. Our reviewers have spoken very well, and today is Workers' Day. From Flip TV, we are saying happy Workers' Day, even though there are so many things to celebrate and not to celebrate. We are moving to the end of bystanders and the newsstands this wonderful morning. I'm Christian Chuku with you, and also behind this, the camera is Festus Uluwabukumi. And also a big thank you to Flip TV boss Biodun Kupoluyi. Bye for now. Till we see you on Monday.